Good morning, sunshine.
Welcome to the real world. Mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with free air. There's no second best, okay?
GM. Trade of the day. Alright, so obviously we're going to zero. So we just need to find a path. We know the direction. That is straight to zero. But how are we going to make loads of money on the way down? Because obviously it's going to zero. Twitter has told me we're going to zero. So it's going to go up a little bit and then straight down. And that's trade of the day. Thank you for watching, GM. Alright, let's be serious. Currently, we're having a bounce. I think it's off that 50-week EMA, judging by this squiggly line, which is around 54k, I believe. Yeah. And if we zoom in a bit, we've got the daily open. So we've got two levels, actually. Sorry. Let's look at today's daily open, which is over here. So Saturday's open. Yeah, my swing trade, or my day trade, I closed part of it at 53.3 and left the rest open. The invalidation for that, it's kind of tentative. I don't really have one clearly, because regardless of what happens, it can't lose. So I can leave the stop loss basically where it was for now, but I'll just manage it as it goes. But I've already taken like 5 hour profit in total, and there's still, currently like 4 hour left open. As it squeezes up, that's going down, but it's unrealized. So anyway, right. We had a big shakeout. So, look, to be honest, we had a grinding downwards move, and then we had an overextended last leg. So you see this kind of downwards move that's sort of following a channel. Then you extend deep below it. That can quite often be the catalyst for a rally. If it's not going to, it's still probably going to come up to here, right, and reject, and then we go lower. More likely, I think it probably goes sideways and chops and comes up and rejects and goes lower. Like if it's going to be bearish, it's going to look something like that. Quite often these can just produce really strong rallies and then fucking all the way back down. Or what I think could be happening now is we might have generated enough liquidity. Maybe it needs to go one sweep lower. But we might have generated enough liquidity to rally into the rate cut. So that's what, like, seeing disillusionment reach a peak right before the rate cut is a good sign. We might rally into that. Now, I think rate cuts will be probably net bearish initially, but like I said, anyway, that's not really something for trade of the day. That's for later on. So let's look at what's going on here. Let's take that off. All I really care about is Friday's close. Friday closed here. Friday New York close. And then you've got Saturday's open. So a good way to trade this is if we continue higher. And then we set a high on Sunday. And if we sweep that high on Monday, you can trade it back to Friday New York close. That's not as reliable as if you set the weekly lower high on the weekend. So maybe I should leave that on, just as an idea, right? Where you set a high on the weekend, you sweep it out early Monday, you can trade it back towards the New York close. So that's going to be a trade for Sunday, Monday, rather than today. But obviously, Saturday is probably not going to offer much in the way of trades. Now, the absolute best trade you could ever possibly take would be if for somehow we go lower and we set the weekly low on Sunday or Saturday, but just on the weekend. And then on Monday, we sweep that out. That is a super easy trade back to the New York close. Because weekends, like this wasn't the weekend, this was Friday, when we set a low or a high for the week on the weekend, it's a really good target. And if you then fail to go lower, you reverse it, trade it back. This would not be that, because obviously the weekly low will be Friday. So if we continue higher and do all this up here, that's not as bad. It doesn't mean the weekly high is on Saturday or Sunday. Obviously, the weekly high is much earlier in the week, all the way over here, Tuesday. So there's a couple rough ideas of paths. We'll see how that goes. I expect not much to happen today. If anything really does happen, maybe we see another little squeeze. I don't think so though. Let me zoom in here and show you exactly why. I see where we're at right now. This is very common. You have your strong impulse move down. You then have your continuation leg. That then retraces. This is our area. Like, this is our range. And so I don't see price going much above 55. I think we might sweep this out and end up just falling down. And then you're just into this choppy area here. Because this is where the actual trading range will be. The rest is a gap. So to fill that, you need a lot of effort. And I don't think we're going to see that first time. So I think either it just falls over from here, or it takes these highs and then falls over. And we just chop for a bit. So we'll see how that goes. This is the really common Friday we bottom out, Saturday we just squeeze, and people are like, oh no, fuck, did I miss the bottom? Do we need to go long? And it just grinds, and then, we've seen this game a million times. So until something different happens, I expect the same result, which is we reject before 55, we go back towards 53. We probably don't break the low. Maybe we do. We probably don't go that much higher. Maybe we do, but I would guess Saturday's probably going to be relatively quiet. GM.